It's no Cold War. Russia says conflict with West is now fiery. Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said, there has been no cold here for a long time. There is already fire. She rejected Western accusations about Russian drones, incursions into NATO airspace, and sabotage of critical infrastructure, describing them as provocations intended to justify increased defense spending. Zakharova also argued that Moscow is responding to what it views as NATO's expansion on Western pressure since the collapse of the Soviet Union. The Times reports that war in Ukraine could take a dramatic turn in Kyiv's favor. President Donald Trump has decided to give Ukraine intelligence to strike Russia's energy infrastructure, refineries, pipelines, and power plants, together with long-range weapons. This could hit Moscow's military economy at its core. The report also says Trump is considering giving Ukraine Tomahawk cruise missiles. They can fly more than 2,000 kilometers, far enough to reach Moscow from anywhere in Ukraine. The Times notes that American intelligence has already helped Ukraine in key moments, including the sinking of the Russian warship Moskva in 2022. Now, by removing restrictions and letting Ukraine target Russia's energy system, Trump could deal a serious blow to the Kremlin and maybe even push Putin towards peace talks. Russia is regularly trying to jam Britain's military satellites. That's according to Major General Paul Tedman, the head of UK Space Command. He told the BBC that Moscow is working every week to disrupt Britain's space operations and is closely tracking the country's satellites. Tedman said the UK has about 6 military satellites for communications and surveillance, all equipped with anti-jamming technology. He also warned that Russian systems are designed to monitor British satellites and even collect information from them. NATO air defense cannot fully stop Russian jets, says Estonia. Estonia's foreign ministry has warned that NATO's air defense systems are not enough to deter Russian military aircraft and called for stronger action. Speaking to The Telegraph, Secretary General of the Estonian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Jonatan Vseviov, said that Russia must see NATO acting as one united front, not just a group of separate countries. He explained that NATO plans often and hand over operations at national borders instead of following Russian jets across Allied airspace. According to him, this makes it easier for Moscow to test NATO's limits. The comments came after 3 Russian MiG-31 fighter jets violated Estonian airspace on September 19. Finnish F-18s first intercepted the planes, then passed the mission to Italian F-35s based in Estonia under NATO's Baltic Air Policing mission. The F-35s escorted the Russian jets through Estonian skies until they returned to Kaliningrad. Why Denmark has become a leading supporter of Ukraine. Denmark has taken one of the strongest roles in Europe when it comes to supporting Ukraine, from buying weapons directly from Ukrainian producers and sending them to the front, to investing heavily in the reconstruction of Mykolaiv. As Bloomberg notes, there are several reasons why this small country, far from the battlefield, has become such a consistent leader. Denmark's government debt is among the lowest in Europe, giving it more budget room. Unlike France or Germany, Denmark does not have a big arms industry of its own, which make it easier to focus directly on helping Ukraine get the weapons it needs. History also plays a role. Denmark was on the front line during the Cold War and does not want to repeat the experience. And with the United States showing interest in Greenland, Danes feel strongly about defending international rules that protect small countries from larger powers. On a per-person basis, Denmark is now one of the biggest defense donors to Ukraine, and in total it ranks 7th in the world. Its contributions have even outpaced France, despite Denmark's economy being 4 times smaller. Analysts suggest that this leadership may also explain why Danish airports were recently targeted by Russian drones. Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen has warned that Russia remains Europe's main enemy, determined to destabilize the continent, and said Europe must respond with unity. Lithuanian's culture minister faces dismissal after refusing to say that Crimea belongs to Ukraine. Ignotas Adamovičius from the far-right party Dawn of the Neman sparked outrage after refusing to answer a journalist's question about Crimea. When asked whether the peninsula belongs to Ukraine, he called it a provocative question and avoided giving a clear response, saying only, "Let's not play these games, there is a line we should not cross." His hesitation and long pause also came when asked what Ukraine's victory would mean to him as a politician and a person. The controversy quickly escalated. The Prime Minister has now proposed the Adamovičius should step down and the ruling coalition will meet to discuss his future until a replacement is found, another member for the government that will take over the ministry temporarily. The minister's appointment had already triggered protests in Lithuania, with critics questioning both Adamovičius' competence and his far-right party's role in the government. That's all for now. For more content, please subscribe.